Hey Kingline community, Big here. In this video, I'll explain several of the tools I use to understand price action, especially as it relates to the New York Open. This includes daily bias, 1 hour outside candles, 8 a.m. hourly liquidity levels, and order flow using a 1-minute view. First, I'll go over daily bias. This practice helps me identify which of the three phases price is in. Is it consolidating? Is it expanding? Or is it reversing? So, shortly after the close of each day, I post in my channel my thoughts on this. And we're going to reference February 12th, okay? Um, the first thing I always talk about is what the expectation, if there is one going into the day. Okay, so for the 13th, I didn't have any expectation because of what happened with the prior candle. It wasn't an inside candle, but it closed back in the prior day's range, so I don't have any expectation. Then I talk about what happened that day. Okay, it was a strong bearish print, sweeping the previous day's low and another daily low, closing below the prior day's range. Because of that, I can develop an expectation for the 13th, which is a sweep of 24,721. Okay, so here's the 12th daily print. Okay, we saw a strong move down that swept the previous day's low and another daily low, and it closed below the prior day's range. So my expectation is that the lower wick that was produced is going to provide the sell side liquidity and the daily draw for the 13th. Next, we'll hop onto a daily chart and let's see how that played out. Okay, we're in replay mode. Here's our daily draw. And I'll drop down to a 1 hour time frame. And let's see what happened. There's our first sweep. We get another sweep. So what that tells me is that the expectation has been met and there's a possibility of a return back to the range going after internal liquidity. And we have tons of low resistance liquidity resting between 24,945 and 24,834. Next, I want to talk about 1 hour outside candles. Okay, I use a indicator called Strat TCF, and I have it set up to identify 1 hour and 4 hour outside candles and change the color of those to red because those are very important. So we're queued up to the close of the 8 a.m. close on Friday, February 13th. And what do we see? Here's our prior swing level. We had a sweep of that buy side liquidity with a return to the range. In addition, we had a sweep of the low with a return to the range. In addition, let's mark up the 0.5 of that candle's range. The close was well above the EQ of that candle's range, which is suggesting a bullish bias. This brings me to the next concept that I use for the New York Open, which is the 8 a.m. 1 hour liquidity levels. If you're not familiar with this strategy, I would recommend checking out other videos that I've produced. They fully explain the concept, but basically what I look at is the high and the low of that 8 a.m. candle. And what those do is those provide targets for me for liquidity, okay? And on the 13th at 8:30 a.m., so about midway through this candle being printed, there was red folder news. It was CPI, and it came in a little bit below expectation. So what that did was it created a very nice broad range for liquidity. Okay, it's over a 200-point range. So it's about a half an hour before the cash open, and I want to go back to my channel because I posted this on the 13th for my pre-market. Okay, I said the previous day's low has been swept in line with the expectation, and the data spike created a 1 hour outside candle suggesting a reversal with higher prices to follow. Another indicator that I use is the ALN pattern, and if you're not familiar with this one, I reference it in another video. You're welcome to take a look at that. Basically, it says it gives probabilities based on what's happened over the past 10 years, given a specific pattern. This pattern for this day was the London partial down. And as of 9 a.m., the London low had already been taken. The London high had already been taken. There was one target left within the overnight liquidity, and that was that the Asia high is going to be swept. That Asia high was about right here, above 24,825. At this point, I don't know which is going to be swept first. Is it going to be the high or the low? Shortly after that last post, probably 10 minutes after, I state this. If we see an opening sell-off first, the 8 a.m. low is the draw. So let's go back to the chart, and I'll switch it to 1 minute time frame, and I want to show how that played out. Okay, still in replay mode, 1 minute time frame. I have it queued up to 8:55 a.m. Okay, the 8 a.m. high, the 8 a.m. low are still intact, and we're seeing consolidation. Let's see how this plays out. Okay, we get a sweep of the prior high, still respecting the 8 a.m. high, with a return to the range, and each of these down close here had created an imbalance, okay? And what do we see? We have a sweep and a close below, a strong close below the prior swing low, okay? So with that in mind, I want to take a look at the reversal structure and identify the most important candle, okay? Here's the prior swing high right here. Which is the candle that breaks that? It's this one, okay? That's my important candle. So I'm going to mark up the midpoint of that candle's body, okay? Right here, that's at 24,799.50. The expectation is that we'll see, if we see a return back to the range, I want to see that level tested, and there's a high probability that that will provide resistance, with the target being the 8 a.m. low. Okay, let's fast forward, see how this plays out. Get a little more consolidation. Here's our open right here. Here's our 931 candle, and what do we see? We test the POI, or my short entry, with a very strong move, a reaction off of it, and let's see if it sweeps the low. Yes, we did sweat that 8 a.m. low. Next, I want to show a post that I made in JD's live stream from that morning when I saw that short playing out. Okay, this is my theory of what is going to happen. This is our 8 a.m. low here. That's our 8 a.m. high there, and the Asia high directly above that. So my theory was that we were going to sweep that low and then sweep the high. And let's see if that happened. Boom, it did. Okay, it was a beautiful move. Look at how direct it is. It was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It was a 7-minute move that was over 250 points. Next, I'll pull up another post that I made in JD's stream that showed my entry on that short. I marketed in short at about 832.25 once I saw this wick printing, okay? I entered in with 9 contracts. My first target of about half of the position was at 721, and the reason I chose that was because of this prior support level right here, okay? And last post from JD Stream was showing that I had a fill there on my 5 positions short right here. I have 4 remaining contracts. I was targeting 24,611. I thought that was going to be strong support, but it ended up not getting filled. And I took the position off shortly after I saw this move. That level was being supported, so I took it off right about here. That concludes my recap of the 2 opening moves on NQ from February 13th, 2026. If you're not a member of the Kingline Discord community, I'd highly recommend you check it out. I'm just one of the several mods there, all of whom are more talented than I. We live stream nearly all the sessions, including New York, Asia, and London, and post tons of educational content you won't find anywhere else. Cheers.